injured Jim Bett. But Lee Richardson comes back into midfield after missing the last 2 matches. Scott Booth and Mixu Patalainen are on the bench. The former Celtic winger Joe Miller starts his 4th consecutive match for Aberdeen, supporting Shearer and Jess in attack. Still only 25, he's clearly relishing his 2nd spell at Pittodrie and scored the Aberdeen goal against Rangers in the League Cup from the penalty spot a couple of weeks ago. Rangers are still without injury victim Richard Gough, and Ian Durrant makes way for Peter Houstra after the midweek match against Levski Sofia. The other change is the relegation of Duncan Ferguson to the bench and the introduction for his first team debut of Charlie Miller. He's exactly 17.5 years old and joined the club last summer from Rangers Boys Club. He's skillful and quick, and he's likely to play up front alongside Mark Hateley. And for the top match this afternoon, one of our best rated referees, Mr. Bill Crombie from Edinburgh. All the Rangers fans here in numbers as usual. A great atmosphere inside Pittodrie, enhanced by the new Richard Donald stand behind Ali Maxwell in the Rangers goal. And a very good opening there by Jess. The cross just too high for Shearer. 2 goal scorers from midweek, Ian Jess, who scored a couple against Valor, and Duncan Shearer, who scored the first, trying to combine there. The Rangers trying to settle in what are very difficult overhead, blustery, windy conditions. Playing surface is immaculate, but it is difficult overhead. There's Mark Hateley, that's for Houstra, who's offside. Well, that was a good opportunity, but Houstra raced forward there, a little bit over-anxious perhaps. Here's Stephen Wright, wearing 3, playing it right back. Presley's interception, winning it there from Miller. Well, Aberdeen getting forward very quickly once again. Paul Kane taking the throw, looking for Jess. He's turned away there from McPherson, pulled down by the Rangers centre-half. And it's a free kick to Aberdeen and a booking for David McPherson. Well, here's why. Beaten by the skill of Jess, McPherson commits the foul. Shot there from Connor. There's Joe Miller. Back out to Richardson. There was an offside flag up on the near side in any event, but a poor finish there by Lee Richardson, trying to make contact with a spinning ball. Looking there for Hateley, it's misjudged in the air by Irvin. Gareth McLeish. His career started just at the time Charlie Miller was born. Makes the clearance. Rangers in possession again. There's Ferguson. Retaining possession well. Robertson to Miller. That was for McCall. That reaches Houstra. Over to the far side again in space is Stevens. Hateley. Back to Ferguson. Now Presley. Stevens again looking for Hateley inside the area. Brian Irvin is with him. On the counter-attack, Robert Connor for Aberdeen. Gets the break of the ball. Allows Richardson to take over. Trevor Stephen winning it back for Rangers. McKimmie to Miller. And now McCall. Houstra on the left. David Robertson goes sprinting forward. The tackle there came from Paul Kane. The Rangers now trying to ease themselves into the match after that very bright start from Aberdeen. Robertson's throw. Hateley managed to get to that under severe pressure. Ian Ferguson did well. There's McCall. Again, space for Gary Stevens. Aberdeen haven't yet sorted that out. There's Hateley. A very quick recovery made by Snelldon as Charlie Miller and Peter Houstra went hurtling in. Brave goalkeeping this.
It's a nice ball into the box, and Matt Hateley shows his ability there, but Theo Snelldon will be unhappy with his attempt at garnering that ball. But this is the type of thing that Aberdeen are going to have to guard against, because Haitley is tremendously powerful in the air.
So Aberdeen with a back four of right. Irvin, McLeish and McKimmie. Miller, Kane, Richardson and Connor in the middle. And Shearer and Jess up front. Joe Miller gives them the capacity though to switch quickly to 4-3-3. And Stuart McKimmie is penalised once again. That aerial challenge on Haitley. Trevor Stephen this time for Rangers. Well, hopeful from long range. Crisply struck it all right, but not threatening Snellers.
It's a good enough strike drop, but it's an awful long way out to test a goalkeeper of Snellers' quality. But interesting enough, Aberdeen are taking the initiative, but perhaps they need someone just to put their foot on the ball just a little bit and calm down their approach. Play balls out to the feet of Joe Miller, play balls into the feet of Ian Jess to let them go and test the defenders.
Presley getting a bit of Jess in the air, but the Aberdeen strikers in possession again. That's a good effort there. Shearer! The opener for Aberdeen! 16 minutes on the clock. And the fruits of the labours of Aberdeen in the opening quarter of an hour. That fine finish from Duncan Shearer.
Yeah, here we see Ian Jess getting possession, confident on the ball. Looks up and says, I might as well take a crack from here. Unleashes a tremendous well-hit shot, but I think Ali Maxwell will be disappointed with his performance here. But there's Duncan Shearer, right position to score.
Well, Duncan Shearer deadly in that position. He kept this down well under severe pressure. Ian Jess did so well to find the space for that shot. It was dipping and swerving, very difficult for Maxwell. And Shearer at his best. McKimmie breaks. There's Connor. McKimmie wants it back into the inside left channel. Presley at full stretch to clear. Presley asking Ali Maxwell about a bit of advice, I think. Perhaps looking for a call which didn't arrive. Oh, that wasn't far away from Irvin. He was unmarked going into the 6-yard box. Well, Rangers could have paid for that lapse in concentration.
Yeah, it's a typically well-hit corner, but Brian Irvin's not all that far away from connecting with it. The surprising thing is nobody in the Rangers defence seemed to pick him up.
Stevens across to McPherson. Good cushion header there by McLeish. There's Richardson, very strong in possession. Joe Miller has drifted inside. That's for Shearer. Well, long deep cross, but no one again coming in the far post. That's been a problem for Aberdeen so far. Robert Connor playing that quite deliberately against Stephen for the corner. Knew exactly what he was about. Paul Kane once more with the in-swinger. Swirling the ball in, there's Shearer! Wow, severely pressurised by Presley all the way. This was a chance.
Yeah, Aberdeen's causing Rangers all sorts of problems at these corners. I honestly think that Ali Maxwell's going to have to take responsibility and come and take these balls at the minute to take pressure off his defence, because they're difficult for defenders to handle.
Haitley's header, here's Charlie Miller. Well, things not really going the youngsters' way so far in the match. Pass from Richardson asking a lot of Shearer. He's there ahead of Presley. Playing it early for Jess. And that was a tremendous tackle from David Robertson. It really was top-class defending.
Here we see the pass inside, and it looks to me as though Ian Jess is in position there, but what a tremendous challenge and tackle by David Robertson. His pace got him out of great difficulty there.
David Robertson again very quick. Good play by Joe Miller, then by Paul Kane. Jess on the turn, holding off McCall. Still retaining possessions. Fine play by Jess. Absolutely brilliant. And the own goal conceded by Stephen Presley, but that goal belongs surely to Ian Jess. Disaster for Presley, but what wonderful play this was from Ian Jess. 34 minutes of the first half gone.
Yeah, it's tremendous play from Ian Jess, confident on the ball, puts in one of those difficult balls right into the heart of Rangers defence. Here we see him stands up to a tackle from Stuart McCall, looks up, knows what he's wanting to do with the ball, whips that dangerous ball in there, and unfortunately for Stephen Presley, he's hardly any option but to turn it past his own goalkeeper.
Ian Jess's work before that cross was quite outstanding, holding off challenges all the way from his own half of the field. And a very interested spectator, the Scotland caretaker national coach, Craig Brown. There's Gary Stevens, Dave McPherson up with the attack. Well, he did extremely well to get that ball across goal. The two Dutchmen challenging. Houstra on Stiltons, the keeper wins.
Yeah, Dave McPherson gets the byline here, but this is what you need from your goalkeeper. At this stage in the game, his team's got 2 goals of a lead. He wants to come and take that ball and take the pressure off the defence, and he does it well.
Charlie Miller with Haitley. Here's Charlie Miller, well tackled there. Superb tackle by Brian Irvin. Beautifully timed by the big central defender.
Yeah, well, Charlie Miller does well here. A nice 1-2, but Brian Irvin, who's had a superb first half, makes a good saving challenge, and the danger is gone for the minute.
Still Rangers trying to come forward, but Stephen brushed aside by Richardson. This is Shearer. Kane playing it long, allowing Richardson to continue the charge forward. Well, he's gone down there after a collision. Well, he seemed to be very happy to go down, I have to say, Lee Richardson. I didn't realise there wasn't a great deal on.
Yeah, well, here we see him chasing for the ball. I think he's just run out of legs, and I thought the act of falling like that had gone.
The referee checked his watch as Aberdeen have this free kick. What a killer blow this could be if they could do something with this. Kane flights it in. Maxwell comes to collect. And the half-time whistle goes. A tremendous reaction from the Aberdeen supporters, and that's thoroughly justified after an excellent first-half performance. The opening goal scored there by Duncan Shearer in 16 minutes. And then a tragedy for the young Rangers defender, Stephen Presley, who conceded the second goal in 34 minutes of an own goal. But the man who did the real damage for Aberdeen was Ian Jess, who was the creator of both these goals. Aberdeen with a deserved lead. It's Aberdeen 2, Rangers 0. No change has been made by either manager for the start of the second half. Rangers with options on the bench in the form of Neil Murray and Duncan Ferguson, apart from goalkeeper Colin Scott. The outfield players for Aberdeen are Mixu Patalanya and Scott Booth, but it's no surprise that Aberdeen have left things well alone. They coped so well in that first half, and they had that sparkling first half performance from Ian Jess to give them such inspiration. Shuffled there by Paul Kane in the Aberdeen midfield. Here's Joe Miller nutmegging Houstra. Kane going forward. That's towards Shearer. Undoubtedly a chance. Well, once again, the Rangers defence looking anything but comfortable, and that ball came in.
It's a delightful ball into the middle. Eliminates the defender. Duncan Shearer will be very disappointed with himself there. That's the type of chances he normally thrives upon.
There's Robert Connor. He's won a corner kick for Aberdeen. So he's had a very good return to first team duty after that very lengthy spell out through injury, Robert Connor. Valuable addition to the Aberdeen squad. So Paul Kane now, rifling the ball across. And once again, it's across the 6-yard box, and Duncan Shearer almost scored for Aberdeen.
It's another one of those in-swinging corners that Aberdeen have used throughout the game, but look at the lack of marking in the Rangers defence, and that's down to a lack of confidence. No one's confident enough to take the responsibility to come and clear it and get it out of that area.
He did well. Here's Charlie Miller, showing good control. That's for Houstra. Stephen Wright matching him for pace. Very cool defending by Wright. Well, another player returning from injury and trying to get back to the kind of form which has put him into the international scene. Foul against Duncan Shearer for backing into McPherson. McPherson fighting it forward. Brian Irvin in ahead of Haitley that time. McPherson to David Robertson. Charlie Miller being given space to make that pass. Here's Miller again. Oh, very good play by Charlie Miller. Well, showing excellent close control, dribbling into the penalty box, running into Brian Irvin eventually. Here's Jess, holding off Presley. He's so full of confidence, Jess. And through the middle it goes, there's no offside. Here's Duncan Shearer. And Ali Maxwell to Rangers' rescue. McPherson winning that from Shearer. That's well taken down by Richardson. This is Jess, the back heeler. This is Shearer. The shooting chance is on. The offside flag was up. It won't count. Wow, what a fine finish it was. Gary Mitchell from it broke. There's the linesman who chalked that off.
Yeah, here we are. I'll tell you, it's touch and go. It must only be inches in it, but look at the finish that Duncan Shearer puts in. And this is a threat that he carries.
Rangers on the counter-attack now with Charlie Miller. That's too high for Haitley. Flag is up against Ian Jess. There's no argument about that. And of course, the free kick must be taken from inside the Rangers half. Dave McPherson complaining about the referee insisting on that being retaken. Haitley's header. Here's Charlie Miller. Just out of reach for Stephen. That's Houstra. Now McCall. Richardson battling hard with Ferguson. Haitley down to Miller. Frustration for the young. Get real power into that.
He's going in confidence, young Charlie Miller. Here we see Mark Haitley chesting the ball down to him, and he's had a crack, but in actual fact he's looked quite good at the start of this match, and he looks as though he's entered into the pace of the game. Maybe it took him a little bit of time to adjust to that.
Head flick on, Charlie Miller with McLeish. And also with Irvin, who makes a very good tackle. That's brilliant play again from Jess. They really don't know how to handle him. Kane's pass. Here's Joe Miller. This is promising again for Aberdeen. Gary Stevens with the acrobatic clearance. Back with Stephen Wright. This is for Jess. Little stumble there as he tried a quick turn inside the area. Can't get enough of the ball at the moment, Jess.
No, he's really had a remarkable game. He's so confident, and he's prepared to put his foot in the ball. He's prepared to take people on. He's prepared to make passes, and we know he can score goals as well.
An outstanding performance. Aberdeen have a throw. Off goes Shearer with Presley. We've got a fatal tussle this afternoon. Shearer holds it up. This is Kane. Richardson has McKimmie joining him, going forward through the inside left channel, making space there for Connor, but Richardson has thoughts of his own. That was a good effort.
He's had a good game, Lee Richardson, but you see the confidence just oozing through the Aberdeen side. He's prepared to come inside, hits a good shot, not all that far away.
Well, Richardson trying to score a spectacular goal. was Hateley, caught late by Irvine. Well, they felt that all right, the Rangers striker. And Brian Irvine will be booked. It hasn't been his first foul by any means. He made a late one in Charlie Miller in the first half too.
You see the ball getting played up to Mark Hateley, and Brian Irvine just that bit late with the challenge. Get no complaints about the foul, nor the booking really. Here we see it again. We see him clearly. Mark Hateley's going into a good position, and Brian Irvine just brings him down.
Shooting chance for Ian Ferguson. No, it's pushed across for McCall. That's good play by McCall. There's Gary Stevens. And a chance without question for Mark Hateley. Well, I wonder if that injury was still playing a part there. It was a very good opportunity.
It was a tremendous challenge by Stuart McCall, and a brilliant ball whipped in there, and Alec McLeish shows his experience. He comes in behind Mark Hateley and clears it for his club.
Oyster's corner, there's Dave McPherson. It's carefully watched by Snelders, and now the alteration will be made by Rangers. And the player going off, it would appear, is Peter Houstra. He certainly hasn't had one of his better matches, the Dutchman. So Duncan Ferguson replaces him. £4 million striker. Here's Duncan Ferguson linking with Hateley. And a fine effort there by Ferguson. Didn't have real power in the shot, but certainly enough to trouble Snelders.
It's a good interchange between the two big fellas, and when the ball comes across, he tries that speculative overhead kick, but it's well saved by Theo Snelders. Here we see the cross coming in. There it is, but it's well covered.
So discussions going on now. Willie Miller and Roy Aitken. Jess holding off his man again. That's intended for Connor. Well, he has possession now. We'll take that in the form of a throw. Here's Stephen Wright. Kane through the middle. The layoff from Shearer to Jess. He's clearly disappointed, Ian Jess.
We've seen lots of good play here. Good reaction from both centre forwards. A good strike from Ian Jess, but the confidence this lad has shown today is quite tremendous, quite dramatic.
Duncan Shearer goes off. On comes Scott Booth. Indication to Ian Jess, I think, perhaps alter position a little to accommodate Booth. Richardson driving the ball against the arm of Ferguson. Here's Connor, and he's done a fine job for Aberdeen on this left flank, Robert Connor. Richardson too, doing well in the centre. Coming across to provide some support. That's well played by McLeish. There's no offside. Chance on here for Booth. Jess waiting inside. Well, he won't be happy with that strike from the position he was in. There's another chance now, though. Carelessness again in the Rangers' ranks. There's Booth. And another disappointing finish.
Here we see an example of the sharpness that both of them show. In actual fact, it's a good run from Scott Booth. It gets in behind the defence. Ian Jess won't be happy with his finish.
Brian Irvine lashing the ball clear for Aberdeen. This time it doesn't come back from the roof. Stuck up there in the ledge. The replacement ball allows David Robertson to take the throw. McLeish's clearance. Well, Aberdeen were very conscious of the fact that there are about 11 minutes left. Temptation perhaps to think about hanging on, but they had been playing so well, that might be a mistake. Here's Charlie Miller. That's for Robertson, who's well matched there by Jess. And Ian Ferguson's shot goes over. He wants a corner kick. But more good work by Ian Jess defensively this time.
It's a real chance for Rangers here, but we see the work rate the Aberdeen players have put in. They've contested every ball, and here we see in a dangerous position. A forward gets back and makes a challenge. Paul Kane, in actual fact, gets his foot in there at the end of the day, but every Aberdeen player has worked so hard. When they've lost possession, they've worked back the way to get hold of it again, and they really are a credit to Willie Miller.
And that's Kane overshooting Scott Booth for the pass forward. There's Gary Stevens again. The aerial route preferred by Rangers. That's for Duncan Ferguson. Ryan Irvin's clearance. Well, another ball in danger of being lost. Back it comes from the stand. This is as good as a corner. David Robertson running up in the tunnel he knows so well. That's a good ball in. Punched away by Snelders. He really has to take responsibility there. The corner kick's been given. The linesman indicating to the referee the ball was out. Just way back into defence now. So that's Trevor Stephen with the in swinger. Reaches Hateley. Back it goes to Ferguson. That was closed down by Wright. Ferguson again! He really is deadly in that position, Ian Ferguson. And perhaps given too much room by Aberdeen.
Yeah, they have difficulty in clearing it here, but Ian Ferguson hits a tremendous shot, but just past the post, and Aberdeen just defends on that occasion just perhaps a little bit slow and get out to attack the ball.
And the player coming off is Ian Jess. Well, he's entitled to the kind of ovation he's getting right now. Marvellous performance. And Mixu Patalainen replaces him. Return there by Robertson to Ferguson. Great goalkeeping by Snelders. Now that was important. To be able to hold that with Hateley racing in on top of him, the mark of a top-class goalkeeper.
Yeah, well, you see a well-shot shot, but this is how to handle the situation. Down he goes, confident, gets his body behind it, holds on to it, takes the danger out of the effort, and obviously makes life that bit more comfortable for his defenders.
And Aberdeen have a problem because Scott Booth has gone down. He was clearly in some difficulty, perhaps damaged the hamstring in the run there with Stephen Presley. He's come back into his own half, but clearly he's not going to be fit to continue. Did you see that one, Billy?
Yes, it was that run that he had through the middle with Stephen Presley. Probably, come on, just still a little bit cold. Very hectic game, a very demanding game, and asked to play a demanding role, and I think the hamstrings just let him down.
Headed away by Richardson. Patalainen's the player who's had to go forward to replay Scott Booth. The final whistle goes. It's been an outstanding victory by Aberdeen. They played extremely well throughout the match. Duncan, with his outstanding finishing, produced the opener in 16 minutes after excellent work by Ian Jess. Stephen Presley, the misfortune in 34 minutes of conceding an own goal after a wonderful play by Ian Jess, who was clearly the star of the show until he went off near the end. But these Aberdeen supporters applauding, and applauding justifiably, one of the best performances provided by their favourites for a very long time. Rangers in the end, well beaten. It's Aberdeen 2, Rangers 0.